Hello, this is my WDD330 final portfolio submission. This is my Google form, and I'll just go through each of these. I gave myself a 4 for becoming more efficient, applying your innate curiosity and creativity. I tried a lot of new things this semester, especially in my final project. I'll quickly go to my final project. For instance, in my wireframes, there was just going to be a standard banner over there. I decided to go with a video, something new tag, new links on the side that work dynamically. And also these tags, the summary and details tags, HTML tags. Next thing, becoming more dexterous and exploring your environment. I used a few external documentation things such as W3 Schools, Developer Mozilla, and Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is more for specific questions. W3 Schools helped a lot with web layouts. For instance, your grid and your flexbox. Let me just show my other one with different cards. And then, yeah, so I used those external resources to help me with my project ideas. Becoming a person who enjoys helping and learning others from others, I know that my team can attest that I was an active participant. I had an external, another meeting outside of the class with one of my team members, where we went over some CSS tips and tricks, especially regarding your animations and transformation and transitions, especially like your rotate, scale, and translate. Those are some things that I struggle with. Yeah, so I marked a 4 over there and a 4 over dexterous. Using a divide and conquer approach to forward design solutions. I did spend quite a bit of time before I started coding, just planning. For instance, I'll show you all my different wireframes over here that I set up for my final project. For my personal portfolio, I built a little mobile thing of what I wanted to look like, especially with desktop as well. And as you can see, this is how it looked in actuality. Yeah, so that is that. And I do like to break it down into small trivial steps, for instance, with snippets like your footer and header, so that you can just add it dynamically into your views for quicker site building. Finding and troubleshooting bugs. I do use the console a lot to help me with CSS and JavaScript errors. And just trying to figure out how to properly display things. I do have quite a bit of error handling in my Node.js section. For instance, for every then block that comes from the database, I'll always have a catch block. So in case anything happens, it displays a dynamic page if there's an internal server error. Last thing, I gave that a 4 and divide and conquer a 4. Developing and debugging HTML, CSS, and JavaScript programs. I did use a medium complexity web technology such as EJS and Node.js. This is with integration with MongoDB and SendGrid email functionality. Yeah, so my external source is MongoDB via Mongoose to render it into Node.js and therefore render it into each of my views that I have over here. I do divide it into MVC architectural philosophy. So I have my views over there, my roots, I have my controllers and my models for the database. Yeah, and then I also hosted it on Heroku. Yeah, so otherwise, another thing for this would be using an external API. So I use SendGrid for that, and the JavaScript over here, I use the JavaScript constraint validation API. So for instance, if there's only one name, it'll say that it's invalid. There's only one letter. There's 2 characters, then it will say it is valid. Same thing with once I submit, it will send the email to that email address. And yeah, using manipulation with DOM, I do use it over here, somewhere over here, but one of my most dynamic websites is probably with my Pokédex. As you can see, it's scales well for mobile first, and as you go into proper desktop, it scales into desktop as well. Yeah, so that is my final submission. Thank you.